you need to get your property manager involved as soon as possible on a deal. All right, this week we are back with another video.
So, life of a small business owner, specifically property management.
This week's video is going to be on when do you bring a property manager into a deal. The first step, I get an email and the landlord goes, hey, I want to put an offer in on a deal. What do you think about it? And I look at, would I buy it? Why would I buy it? Why wouldn't I buy it? And anyone is welcome to email me these things. Like if you're buying a single family house for the first time as a rental, email me, ask me questions. If you're buying a 20 unit and you already own 100 units, believe me, you're still gonna have doubt, you're still gonna have questions, and you still want, affirmation or confirmation from someone like me that is not as emotional about it, because it's not life-changing money for me. It's going to be a good deal to manage, but 20 units is not going to even pay a full salary of one of my employees here in America. So let alone I'll be able to look at the deal and tell you if it's something that you should, bark up the tree for a little further and put some time into it. Another great thing about today is that I actually am walking a 20 unit in Knoxville to help a landlord when a landlord is new to a deal. It's actually like the second or third step. By the way, Copper is here. Copper? Oh, passed out. Hey. Yeah, the video wants to see you. So, with that, let's get started. Basically, these buyers, they're under contract on the property. I'm gonna walk a few just to give my opinion on what needs to get done. Here are all the units, so pretty fresh looking units. So we're sitting here, we got to the property, I'm about to go in, and my goal here is to confirm the projections that I think that these units can rent for. So I will pay attention to floor layout more than anything, because I know my buyer will renovate, they'll paint, they'll do the flooring, and they have their own contractors to do that stuff. We can handle light stuff. I typically don't touch anything over $5,000 worth of a project, just because I'm a property manager. I can stay in my lane as a property manager and stay focused on what I'm good at and stay performing, acting as the realtor or as the contractor, bidding on, let's say they renovate all 20 of these units. It's gonna take me away from cash flow, which is my cash flow and the landlord's, getting those rent rates up, keeping the vacancies low, and keeping property stabilized with the basic maintenance and the basic turns, and all of that is property management. We're gonna jump in to the unit and we'll see what happens. All right, so we're done walking the units, and I opened up the closet where the air return was, and I was super confused because it was blowing out hot air. And as you see in this video, I tried to show you how it was running the opposite it should have been running. When we walked out and asked the tenant goes, yeah, I noticed that. I didn't know if it was normal or not, so I just plugged in a couple space heaters and kept it rolling. And that's just an example of deferred maintenance that happens, and so you have to pay attention to those things on lease renewal inspections, move-in inspections, and mid-lease inspections. Just crazy situations that you see when you walk these properties. Nonetheless, he and I, the landlord that is looking to buy this, we both agree that turnovers are the largest cost when it comes to owning multifamily properties or just being a landlord in general. And so when you choose the rent rate for the unit, you need to keep in mind how many turnovers are you comfortable with for the next 5 to 10 years. And the higher the rent, the more likely you deal with turnovers. I have another video probably months ago where I go over the math on how to kind of project what is safe and what would be unrealistic and what costs will incur if you go this percentage of market rate versus this percentage of market rate. So just check that out. I'll point here. If you bump it too high, you will start having people leave because they can't afford it, and you'll have to turn over these units and renovate them. And that turns into a year of high expenses. It gets aggravating as a landlord because you are not cash flowing and you're still coming out of pocket to make this deal work. Yes, you can increase rent if it's significantly below market rate, and you can come out more profitable. But when you're looking in a 12-month period, when you've just purchased, oftentimes just letting everything stay the same, increasing where leases are due, but not at an extreme amount, is actually the right course of action. But you have to be mindful of, that top market rate that you think they can get. Is that the smart play? Because you're going to absorb more turnovers if you go that number versus a different number. So when they go back to their office and they look at this deal, like we're walking around, we've gone inside, we've found some funny things like you usually do with any inspection. We're gonna have to talk on the email that I sent a couple weeks ago when they first were interested in these properties, where I said, well, the rent's gonna be somewhere between like $1,100 and $1,200 per unit. And in that number, he and I are gonna talk on what we think we should renew the current tenants if we purchase the property. And it might not be the $1,200, because that $1,200 rent rate might be too high where we get too many people leaving, and now he has to come out of pocket on all of these expenses that are, as I said, the turnovers. You need to get your property manager involved as soon as possible on a deal. When you are working with a realtor, you should have already chosen your property manager, or at least had made contact with a few, so that way you can get their insight and their opinion. Because oftentimes realtors, they're making a ton of money on this sale, and so they're gonna emotionally push for the pencils and the ink to get wet. Or a property manager, I'm not making life-changing money, or at least a quarter of my year on, like, let's say a $2, $3, $4 million sale. It's gonna help my business grow, but I'm gonna be held to the fire if I can't produce what I said the rent rates should be. And so I have to be cautious just as much as the buyer has to be cautious, because my performance is over the next 5-10 years of managing it. And so if I come in hot and heavy and I act cocky and I think this can be done and the expenses will only be looking like this with the repairs and blah, 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 and I'm completely wrong, that relationship is probably going to get burnt. The trust is not going to be there no matter what with the landlord. And ultimately they'll lose, and they won't be able to buy more because they'll not be cash flowing on the property. So I take it really seriously, and I think that most property managers do as well. And so if you reach out, if you're looking at a single family house or a 100-unit apartment complex, reach out to me today. So you can call me up, get all that for free, and then have me come out to the property, walk it, and let's get to know each other. And then from there, if you want to sign on and work together, we have our agreement. There's no reason for me to charge you to do all this due diligence, because I'm going to do it either way, because I don't want to manage a property that I think a landlord is unreasonably thinking rent should be this or expenses should be that. I'm working with people that look at real estate the same way I do, and so that's why we make the videos. That's why I want to nurture people to know me and call me from these videos to do business and to talk business. And it starts with looking at a rental and saying what I think it can do and what you think it can do, and then that may give you confidence to buy your first deal or your 100th. Rent's due.